Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today we're checking out a brand new artist for me. Anyway, this is The Lost Children of Babylon, martial law, and it is a long one already on its own, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to put it up, but we're going to do it anyway. So let's dig in and see what's up. Let's go. A political prisoner wrongly imprisoned by the federal government for over 9 years after a mockery of a trial. If there's a video, I'll check it out, but I see a lot here already. From the album Zeitgeist Spirit of the Age.
Under martial law, the streets are confined to a police state. They passed the Patriot Act, your projects turn into a concentration camp. Yo, we living under martial law, the streets are confined to a police state. They passed the Patriot Act, your projects turn into a concentration camp. Yo, we living.
Boy, I'm gonna set some people off on this one, because this is not true.
Under martial law.
We're not under martial law. Martial law is very, very much more strict and stringent than anything we have experienced here in a long time.
The streets are confined to a police state. They passed the Patriot Act. Your projects turn into a concentration camp. Rest in peace to Sean Bell and every innocent victim who was murdered by the NYPD, like Amadou Diablo, who was crucified by them hollows. And we can't forget about Rodney King, who was tortured and beaten by the LAPD, the CIA.
All atrocious. I ain't mad at you for bringing light police brutality. Like, I'm not familiar with all of these cases. So I'm not gonna look them up. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is focusing on the wrong thing for me. I want to be growth natured and growth forward. So I don't have a problem with people calling out injustice wherever it may lie. I do have a problem with victims' mentality.
Assassinated Dr. King of Malcolm X, the mass murderers of John F. Kennedy, John Lennon.
Same peoples.
Who will be next? A right wing.
Like that is all true. And there is a possibility that one of the current people running for the current situation could wind up the same way.
Paramilitary secret agency. This is a different form of police brutality. The FBI watches us through the all-seeing eye. This is a state of emergency. 9/11 revisited. Who really took down the Twin Towers?
That's something worth looking into. Same people.
Who are the real terrorists? Americans dressed up like Saracens. Big brother watches us through your cellulars. Are you prepared for the new world order? A one world order. They want to implant microchips in your daughter.
Nah, that ain't happening for me and mine. That's all I can say.
America is bitten by the venom of Great Britain, a satanic system.
And here we go.
Controlled by reptilians.
So keep your third.
Alright, we're good. Dealing with reptilians. I'm not convinced that that is untrue. Right? I'm not convinced that it is true, because I have never actually met anybody who I have witnessed with my own eyes do this. And so I will never say that it is true. But there are corresponding evidences throughout history of the possibility being a correct thing. And so that is something very much to pay attention to. But this whole, there is a victim mentality behind the cult of Satanism and the belief in the cult of Satanism, right? So the people who actually believe in the actual ideology are held back in their way, but the people who are investing their energy in those people are held back in a completely separate way. Now, I have spent a lot of time doing a Bible study. It's not for everyone, but it is for everyone. All of this, in large part, is arguing about the right way to do the wrong thing. It's all based off of the wrong basis. And there are things that I cannot say on the platforms. So you'll just have to investigate and see what I'm talking about. I explained through the Bible study a lot of things that are probably pertaining to this video.
A satanic system controlled by reptilian.
Now, as far as the English domination of us currently, I understand the arguments. I find them rather ridiculous. Now, I subscribe to what I call the one mother father rule because it's trying to keep it family friendly, and there does not need to be some nefarious organization. There only needs to be one mother father. The person in charge is the only one that needs to actually know the thing. There are families that are involved in these things, and you probably could find them in royal lineages around the world. But as far as their influence extends to everyday life, it is rather minimal unless you are making waves. All of the people politically aligned who were taken care of in the manner described in the beginning of this video were done by the same people, right? The things falling, same people. And so that does exist, but they do not interfere with your existence unless you are making waves. Now, I'm a wave maker. What I'm doing on this channel is absolutely making some waves. You can guarantee that I am on list. This channel is rebroadcast on BitChute, right? And I say all of these things on places where people are actually looking for anything to get you on. So I'm on a list. I'm non-violent, so I ain't got to worry about me. These people who are in charge of these things, they don't mess with you on the level of you can't leave this area. You can. It's hard. I get it. We've talked about it. We will talk about it. Probably not in this video. But if you are staying in a state of poverty in the United States of America, you are making a decision to do so. From this point forward, at the very least, you are aware there are other options. They are tough options. It probably involves moving to somewhere with more economic opportunity. But the great thing about this country is that you can. You can freely choose to move wherever. And in those wherever places, you can freely choose to equip yourself with the defense that you seem or deem to be most likely to help you succeed in the case of some entity trying to take control of things. You can be prepared for situations if you so choose, but staying in these areas where this is taking place and blaming it on someone else is a choice.
So keep your third eyes open. Check it, yo.
I do take exception with most people saying that because most people do not know what that even really means. They have a psychedelic experience and think they have encountered something that they have, but not in any good way. Those psychedelics can open doors. They are keys, but those doors are locked for a reason. And you can open those without the psychedelics, and it works for you in a better manner. There are things on the other side of those doors that you really don't want to play with. And most people who think that their third eye open have encountered the things on the other side of those doors that do not have their best interest at heart. That is most people who think that their third eyes have opened and they have had a revelatory experience have talked to the wrong side of things.
Military action, the cemetery's packed with people who died when the government started blasting. In New Orleans, the police were told to shoot on sight. If men were looting, just trying to hold on to life. Who cares if the levee's broke? Prepare to let the semi smoke. Infants floating face down. Is there any hope? Why didn't the president show? Where was FEMA at? The military, police, the air.
Yeah, that whole FEMA. I'm from Baton Rouge. If y'all didn't know, like outside of Baton Rouge, but Baton Rouge. And so Katrina was a thing for me in a very real way. Like, I was here for all of that. I wasn't in New Orleans, but I was here, 40, 50 miles away. And so I know all about that, right? I've heard all the conspiracies behind that, and the one where the same people is probably the one. The response to that was probably in response to other things. That is true. That was a test run for one of those equipments that they use at a high amplitude to direct things, and it worked. It got exactly done what they wanted to get done, and the guard took care of exactly what they needed to take care of. And now I'm not saying that was a good thing at all in any way and shape or form. Those one mother fathers are real.
Area why they need a gang. Men walk with Glocks, kill you like Anwar Sadat. Assassinate your character, now you can't walk the block. The plans are demise, get rid of us, the lower class citizens. Diminish our remembrance, strip us of our religion. It's the fear factor. From now and hereafter, there's hate in our eyes, can't see or hear laughter. Martial law bombs when you start your car. Army fatigues and a gas mask was all you saw. It's off the wall. M16s with the triple burst. Some will show resistance, most will die, some will cripple first. Rise of the machines, and that machine is the government. All the chosen ones will seek peace, peep the covenant, and be prepared. Most minds stay oblivious to the signs and the times that we living with.
But we've had signs of the time since Jesus was expecting God to return way back in the day. I set somebody off, but you should check out that Bible study, because Jesus thought God was returning imminently. That's a thing. And so people have been looking for these end time signs ever since. I was one of them. I can claim authority on this one, right? I was one of those looking for it. And now that I'm studying it, I'm understanding what it means and when we will see it. And a lot of people are wrong on it. Now,
yeah, martial law, yeah. POW, concentration lockdown. Military brigade get raid with them Glock rounds. Ain't no cops now, just MPs and fatigues. In a wedge formation, USMC Marines, flak vest, Kevlar coated, still soldiers, real focus, train to search and destroy these decoy components. Habeas corpus, codex alimonious, sacrilegious and felonious. The way puppet masters controlling us, pulling strings to profit, prosper in they projects, propose global control, but that's another process. Parallel or perpendicular, put it particular. People pulling political powers, the perfect picture for the rich and the famous, but the poor and the dangerous get tossed in the 5x9, put in them chambers. Brainless, a slave stuck in the boat with strangers. Hangman with the noose waiting, patient. Collateral damage to shatter the planet when the masses mass panic and blasting last standing. Running man ran stranded, couldn't stand it.
I'm not stopping it because there's not anything new being added, right? This is all the same rehash. I do want to point something out though, right? The name is the Lost Children of Babylon. You see these swords, that cross sword right there? You're looking for signs. That's one of the places you're going to want to look, because the book of Daniel is devoted entirely to prophecy about Babylon and the kingdom and the fall and the rise of the subsequent kingdoms of Babylon. And yeah, them swords are interesting.
These stone cold souls that own everything we handed. Mayflower ship landed, flipped, abandoned. New world order, fourth quarter like they planned it. Supreme domination in the course of war. Lost children of Babylon, this is martial law.
So it was satanic that the Mayflower came. That's the go. All right.
When I first wrote, the chaos had just broke at the corner of Montana and 2 Avenue. I see my father, amongst others, being abused. He made Saray sign using their cell phone. Said, call your mother, warn your mother. The MPs had him handcuffed while he was in his wheelchair. I stared amazed at this fucked up view. There was a case in the middle of the street for the beast to use to throw the whole block's families in. For now, I'm on the loose with my C's in the backseat. I rolled the window down, niggas rocking my wheel from side to side. It's chaos, I bust off in the air, I'm coming through. Let's ride, clear the sidewalk. I'm doing 90, made it to the high.
It sounds like you were doing some dirty, got caught doing dirty, and got mad about it. Like, that's what this sounds like. I may be wrong. Am I wrong? Hit me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's what that sounds like, right? We started off with a little bit of meat to talk about, but these last two is just beef, right? I don't talk with beef. Like, This is a personal grievance. I get that, but chances are, there wasn't no reason, right? Didn't do nothing.
I wait, but try to reach my wife, but out her way they got the cell phones blocked off. Then the block number called, it's her wailing.
Like, they ain't blocking off cell phones on the block. If they don't have warrants for arrest, and they don't have warrants for arrest for nothing, right? I'm done assuming innocence for anyone, right? If I get arrested, I am going to expect you to assume I did something wrong, because every time I assume that is actually innocent, it has turned out to be wrong.
You know what happened, baby? I'm at the rec center with thousands of other women in prison. Our clothes have been ripped off. They feeding us slop and broth. I think they about to rape us. Please come and save us, my dear. I be there in the flash. I aimed the missiles last week before the shit went down. Blast off on my countdown. A 10-city meltdown. The main King's foundation about to be uncrowned.
Mentally controlling the weak. Overseers be patrolling the street. Combative peacekeepers holding the heat. Extolling the Greek.
Combative peacekeepers holding the peace.
Eternal order of the faggots. Feeding on the maggots of the corpses of the martyrs. Scorch the forefathers. Dream of Freemasonry. Content for the East as they seek to eat insatiably. You wait.
Alright, we're going to hit it again because I'm going to be the guy, right? I'm going to be that dude. I am not a Mason. I have no association with Masons. I am not even trying to be a Mason. But this assumption that Masons are satanic is silly. There can be that one mother father in the organization. That is, but for the most part, even the structure of the organization prevents corruption, right? They are chosen from your community for their desire to do the best, and they are chosen without regard to religion. You have to believe in a God, but they're not going to tell you which one. And so people say, oh, it's Satan. Y'all are silly. This obsession with this entity is silly. You are allowing something to happen to you, and you're claiming that you're woke. That is silly.
To be labeled enemy combatant, insurrectionist, insurgent. You drink contaminants, infectious agents in the currents, water fluoridation, and 66% of the
Fluoride, here we go again. Fluoride is not going to interfere with God getting to you. If you think that the government can stop God from talking to you, you have the wrong concept of God. The pineal gland is how that happens. It is in the center of your brain. The calcification is because you don't flex the muscle. You can flex the muscle. You can break the calcification for yourself. If you want to know how to do that, I got a playlist. I've got a video on manifestation, but I highly suggest you start with the 8 laws of creation.
nation, sedation up your motivation, and hard-earned aggravation. Suppress your voice, they dealt your choice. Debate and meet the Delta Force like William Cooper. Meet your fate when stormtroopers breach your gate. Seek to find those that speak the mind and seize the line of communication. Up with entertainment and down with education. Mass media stupefaction and
that's a real thing. The fact that we glorify these entertainers and we denigrate anybody with intelligence is a massive problem in our society. It is almost entirely the foundation upon which our society crumbles. When we gave up the pursuit of knowledge, we gave up a lot, and we gave it up. We enabled, for the first time, a public education system to raise to adulthood children and then taught them nonsense. Like, this didn't happen in history. Only the very wealthy could go to school. And we've got it where everybody can go to school and they graduate and can't read, have never heard of Plato, have no clue who Socrates even was. But they can tell you all about the Kardashians. They can tell you all about the sports team and the statistics of the kicker for the 72 Broncos. But they can't do algebra and will tell you that it's silly. I'm never going to use that in my life. Bullshit. Every drug dealer in the world uses that. If I have this much powder and this much cut, I get this much product. That is algebra. I need to get over there in this amount of time. How fast do I need to go? That is algebra. But we have ridiculed knowledge to the point where algebra is a bad thing, where geometry is silly, where knowing the classic works makes you a fool, when the classic works is all that can make you not one.
Opposed to ignorance, track you through retina scans and fingerprints.
That I believe is coming too.
Sacrifice civil liberties for homeland security. Silence through subversion. Gun control is peace perversion. We realize the lies.
Gun control is peace perversion is probably the only true thing. Like, that's some truth, right? An armed populace is a safe populace. There is a reason why we've never been invaded, because every redneck in the country would take that as a get out of jail free card. They would light them up before they hit the ground. That is just a real truth. That's why they stuck them in across the border. And so when they come in the middle of the night in mass in your house, you don't have a whole lot to say about it.
National ties, constitutions capsize. There is no free enterprise. Lady Liberty at gunpoint is forced to start undressing. If you're not outraged, must not be paying attention.
Yo, we living under martial law. The streets are confined to a police state. They passed the Patriot Act. Your projects turn into a concentration camp. Yo, we living under martial law. The streets are confined to a police state. They passed the Patriot Act.
Like, that screams victim to me. Like, I know that's me. I'm weird. Okay, I'm good with that. But, like, this whole hook screams victim to me. Right? You're not under martial law. You can leave today. You can pack up all your shit and hit the road. Now, you may not have luxuries, but you can literally disappear in this country. That is not martial law. You don't have to show your papers yet to leave New York City, right? Now, I don't know that, I think this was like 12 years ago, so this wasn't even dealing with the situation at the turn of the decade, right?
Projects turn into a concentration camp. Yo, we living under martial law. The streets are confined to a police state. They passed the Patriot Act. Your projects turn into a concentration camp. Yo, we living under martial law. Martial law, martial law, martial law.
Make sure y'all get back over to the Lost Children of Babylon's page and give them a like, share, and a sub, throw them a comment, and let them know you appreciate what they're doing. I do. I appreciate the conversation, even if I don't agree, right? I have my own reasons for not believing this. I've outlined them publicly. They're in my Bible studies over here, right? The Unconventional Bible Study explains why I don't believe many of the reasons that they are holding these problems. And there are a lot of things holding humanity back, and these issues are definitely part of it. That doesn't mean that the three-letter agency is not a thing, and that they did not do horrible things, and that they will not do horrible things in the future. All of that is entirely possible. I am not taking away from the horrible things that have been done. They are real. They are part of the trial of why we are here, but we are not to be victimized by them. We are to rise above them, to become empowered despite them, and to realize that we are all indeed one race. There's only one people, and that is God's children. Some of us choose a path of light, and some of us choose a path of dark. Choosing to remain a victim is choosing a path of dark. You're choosing to be held back, and you're choosing to be withheld. You don't have to believe that. It is real. It is one of the 8 laws of creation. That which you believe is what creates your existence. You should definitely check out that video. Go back and give them a like, share, and sub. Throw them a comment. Let them know you appreciate what they're doing. I appreciate the conversation, right? I don't think I said anything that will get me banned from the YouTubes. So y'all get to see all of this. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Till next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt's Take. Peace.